going on, guys? Bretto Life back with another video. Today we have the Week in Review episode 214. This is where we go over Raw and Smackdown in a WWE HVU setup. We're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. I'm going to tell you what happened, tell you what I thought about it. Raw was action-packed, no doubt. They started off with a bang, that being Brock Lesnar assaulted Cody Rhodes before he could barely even make it into the arena. I loved this beginning. People were calling it cheesy. I'm like, what? What a banger way to open up the show. Got my attention right away. I was like, holy crap. Does Cody have a broken arm? Because Brock Lesnar used one of those like tanks that you see on the back of a forklift. I don't know what they're called. To smash on Cody Rhodes' arm. And then they were like, oh my God, Cody, we know you have a broken arm, this, that. I was like, oh my God, what a bang way to open up the show. I find this better than, okay, Cody cuts a promo, Brock comes out, they fight. No, what an interesting, unique way to start the show and have Brock Lesnar take out Cody Rhodes instead of a promo from Cody. And then here comes Brock. And no, this is a very unique way to start the show, and I really, really liked this. And it was a story told throughout the entire night. Triple H even came up to Cody Rhodes and like, yeah, Cody, we all know you have a broken arm. I'm looking at it right now. You cannot fight at Night of Champions. Cody's like, I'm fighting at Night of Champions. I do not want to get looked at by a doctor. This, that. I was like, wow, this is lit. And then Cody came out later in the show to interrupt Brock. I will talk about that a little later. Right after they showed Brock Lesnar attack Cody Rhodes in the beginning of the show, Paul Heyman made his presence felt in the center of the ring, talking on the microphone. He talked how he said right away how I had nothing to do with that, because of course he used to be affiliated a lot with Brock Lesnar. So he's like, I had nothing to do with that. I honestly secretly think that Paul Heyman is working with Brock Lesnar this entire time as he's working with the Tribal Chief. That's just my prediction, and that's how he's going to eventually get kicked out of the bloodline. But other than that, he just talked about how Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens they're not going to win, basically, at Night of Champions. Solo and Roman are going to win for Alpha and Sika and this and that. Pretty basic promo. Right after Paul Heyman finished up talking, yes, he gets interrupted by Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. They come out and Sami starts talking about the bloodline again, and then he gets interrupted by Imperium. Imperium look like they're about to do a 3-on-2 attack, and here comes Riddle. Riddle runs down to help Kevin Owens. Sami sets up for our main event that I will talk about later after a little brawl. We jumped right into our first match, that being Bronson Reed versus Ricochet. Kind of an obvious one here. Yeah, Bronson Reed's gonna win, right? He did. It was a fun match, though. I did enjoy it, and Bronson Reed had some wicked moves to Ricochet. Ricochet, obviously, an amazing seller to maneuvers, to big maneuvers, so this was really a solid match for him to thrive with Bronson Reed. In the end, Bronson Reed was able to hit the Tsunami Splash, just literally falling on top of Ricochet, and then the match was all over from there. Not bad, though. I was into it here and there. Candice LeRae had a matchup against Zoe Stark, and Nikki Cross made her presence felt on ringside, and once Candice LeRae got the upper hand on Zoe Stark, Nikki Cross randomly started hugging Candice LeRae. This spot felt so freaking just, not fake, just initiated and like, okay, this is so planned. Obviously it all is, but it was just, I don't know, the way just Nikki Cross started hugging her was just bad, man. Just such an obvious distraction. And then back into the ring, Zoe Stark hit her 360 maneuver, and then it was all over for Candice LeRae. But yeah, I'm not really into this. Zoe Stark, though, she's got a pretty cool finisher. Brock Lesnar interrupted an interview with Mustafa Ali and Byron Saxton before he went out to the ring, and he said, "Get a life, kid," to Mustafa Ali, and Mustafa Ali's like, okay. That was hilarious. That actually made me crack up laughing. Brock Lesnar comes out before his entrance music hits, walks down to the ring, starts talking crap about Cody, and then here comes Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out, and he's like, let's do this right now. And Cody obviously has a broken arm, right? So he gets in the ring. He's no match for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar locks in the Kimura lock, and if the arm wasn't broken before, the arm is broken now. Cody Rhodes is bruised and battered. Brock Lesnar stands up and doesn't really inflict any more damage. He was basically just targeting the arm. And now Cody Rhodes confirmed at the end of the night that he will be facing Brock Lesnar still at Night of Champions, which I am looking forward to. And this really added insult to injury, dude. I loved this. It capped off the Seth Rollins interview with Corey Graves with a bang, man. I really enjoyed this interview, focusing a lot on Roman Reigns and how Seth Rollins wants change, because Roman Reigns, he's barely there. Seth Rollins wants to become the new World Heavyweight Championship, to be there every week, to be defending it every week. Talked about that in the interview, and the interview was fire, man. They need to do more of these. I wish they'd do one with AJ Styles, dude. Like, they talk about him, and then you get that dumb interview with that dumb Grayson Waller, but I want one in-depth like this, with AJ. Shush, please. It was the Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable, and Maxine Dupree seems to be getting along with Chad Gable a little bit more now. Very, very unique. Yes, I know I am using Summer Rae there, but yes, the Alpha Academy did go up against the Viking Idiots in 2-on-2 tag team action. Valhalla and Maxine Dupree were on ringside. Valhalla sort of scared Maxine, and they started running away. That distracted the Viking Idiots, and then Chad Gable was able to take advantage and pick up the victory for the team, thanks to Maxine Dupree, sort of. So yeah, Alpha Academy with a W here on Raw, and I think Maxine Dupree is a solid little addition to the Alpha Academy. Now you just got to delete those two idiots, Massey and Mansois. You just got to dump those idiots. But yeah, the Viking Idiots, they lost, which is good. I don't like them. Shinsuke Nakamura went one-on-one with Finn Balor. I really enjoyed this match, dude. We had Damian Priest on ringside. He did try to pose as a factor in Finn Balor's victory multiple times by trying to clothesline Shinsuke Nakamura when the referee wasn't looking on the outside of the ring. But then in the end, Finn Balor was able to hit the coup de grace on Shinsuke Nakamura after Damian Priest sort of grabbed the attention of Shinsuke and they were fighting by the barricade. Finn Balor took advantage with the coup de grace and picked up the victory. Once again, solid match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor. That just sounds good coming off the tongue, and it was good. I did enjoy this match. They announced that Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan relinquished the tag team championships. They were forced to because Liv Morgan, I guess, actually got injured with that boot to the face. So Raquel Rodriguez had to go one-on-one with Sonya Deville. That match was really mid. Yes, Raquel Rodriguez was able to pick up the victory, but then right after the match, Chelsea Green jumped in the ring and started beating down Raquel Rodriguez. Then here comes Raquel's new tag team partner to replace Liv Morgan. It is Shotzi Blackheart. Mid. Literally, I'm not the biggest fan of Shotzi whatsoever, but yeah, she comes out, and that's going to be Raquel's new tag team partner in the new Women's Tag Team Championship tournament that they're going to be doing. And yeah, I'm going to guess Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler win the tag titles. We had a contract signing between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, of course, for Night of Champions. Trish Stratus mentioned how this is her first contract signing, which I thought was wild. That is insanely wild. Becky Lynch, this is like her 20th or whatever they mentioned in the promo. I really enjoyed this promo. Becky Lynch's glasses were insane. Trish's promo, honestly, was better than Becky's. That's just my personal opinion. Becky just went off the basic stuff like, oh, I'm better than you, this is a new age, and this and that. I was like, okay, yeah, Trish definitely decked Becky here in my opinion. Trish flips the table and escapes the ring because, yeah, she is a little afraid of Becky Lynch. I am looking forward to their match at Night of Champions. This ought to be a banger. Dominic Mysterio went one-on-one with the new Apollo Crews without the accent. This match was okay. Rhea Ripley, just like Damian Priest earlier in the night, helped his fellow Judgment Day member win the match. Literally, blatantly sends Apollo Crews into the steel post when the ref isn't looking, of course. He doesn't send him back in the ring. Apollo Crews almost gets counted out, finally gets in at the count of 9, and then Dominic Mysterio hits a frog splash nearly halfway across the ring, which was actually pretty impressive from Dominic Mysterio there. But yeah, to see Apollo Crews lose, and they're trying to reinvent him without the accent, no African Nigerian thing, dude, this is not the way to start off. Okay, Apollo's gonna take an L. What? That is not a good way to start off. I just see it happening how it happened the first time. Apollo lose all over again. Then our main event of the show was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Riddle going up against Imperium. I really enjoyed this match, bro. I love Imperium. I love Sami, Kevin, and Riddle as a trio. This was a fire match. Gunther got sent over the table, the announce table, nearing the end of the match, and then back inside the ring, Giovanni Vinci, I thought he was taking care of business, but then Sami Zayn hit one of the quickest Tallulah kicks I've ever seen him do. Giovanni Vinci was getting momentum, running back to the other side of the ring to get some momentum, and then Sami Zayn, literally a second behind him, boom, Tallulah kick from Sami Zayn. I was like, bro, that was epic. It was so on point and so quick, and then Kevin Owens was able to take care of business with a Swanton bomb off the top rope, and Kevin Owens got the pin, and they played Kevin Owens' theme music. I'm like, let's go. I love Sami Zayn, but I feel like they've been catering more towards Sami Zayn because the whole bloodline ordeal. But man, I'm so glad Kevin Owens got this pinfall in this match, bro. It felt so good, and to hear his theme music instead of Sami's, it was like, wow, love it. Not a bad main event whatsoever. As far as the entire Monday Night Raw episode, I thought this was a jam-packed episode of Raw with action and just just off the walls action, bro. I really enjoyed this show. You guys can let me know what you thought down in the comments down below. Jumping into a pre-recorded episode of Smackdown. Yes, it was pre-recorded because Night of Champions is happening in just a few hours here on this Saturday morning, in America at least. Of course, it's happening in Saudi Arabia, so the time change is a little different, so it's going to be happening around noon for almost all of us here in the U.S. I will be filming a review on that. I don't know if I'm going to be posting it today, or it might be tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to film a review on that show, so stay tuned for it. But here's the review of Smackdown. It wasn't bad. A lot of fake crowd noise, a lot of editing, so I wasn't really the biggest fan of it, but it was still not bad. I'm going to talk about it right now. We opened up the show with a banger. Austin Theory versus Sheamus for the United States Championship, and it caught me off guard when they said this was for the United States title. I'm like, oh, what if Sheamus were to win? But he didn't, of course. We did have the Brawling Brutes on ringside. Nobody on ringside for Theory, so I'm like, whoa, it's sort of like 3-on-1 going on. But then here comes Pretty Deadly, right when Sheamus is going for the bro kick. Pretty Deadly, they take out Butch, they take out Ridge Holland, distract Sheamus in order for Austin Theory to roll up Sheamus and grab the tights for leverage. So Theory had to cheat, even though he already had help from Pretty Deadly, screwing over the Brawling Brutes, and Theory is still United States Champion. This was a solid way to open up the show, though, and by the way, this head scan is growing on me just a little bit. But yeah, it was a solid way to open up the show. I enjoyed the match, no doubt about it. Raquel Rodriguez and her brand new tag team partner, Shotzi, went up against Damage Control, Bayley, and Miss Io Sky back there. This wasn't a bad match. I mean, I wasn't really into it, I can't lie. The ending was so weird. Like, Bayley went for a sunset flip pin off the middle rope, and then went for the pin, and then Raquel sort of turned it around, went for her pin, and then Io Sky just stood there. I'm like, what? Why isn't Io Sky trying to break this up? She literally was just standing there as Raquel made the pinfall on Bayley. I was like, that had to have been a botched ending. Like, what the heck was going on? This was just a weird ending. I didn't really like the match. And man, I miss Liv Morgan. Shotzi Blackheart does not do it for me as far as teaming with Raquel Rodriguez. Bianca Belair started cutting another promo about Asuka, and I'm like, oh my gosh, again. I feel like we've seen so many promos about her with Asuka. Oh, the WrestleMania match. Why didn't she just ask for a rematch? Oh, I would have given it to her. It's like, oh my god, this is so boring. Here comes Asuka, tries to do a little sneak attack, take out Bianca Belair, and then some WWE officials sort of followed her down, and then Bianca Belair somehow got Asuka up for the KOD, and did a KOD, but then Asuka landed on a WWE official, so she didn't get the full brunt of the KOD. But yeah, Bianca's definitely retaining a Night of Champions. As far as this promo, it sucked. LA Knight went one-on-one with his former little tag team partner from last week, Rick Boogs. This match was really boring, I can't lie. The Street Profits were on ringside. I found this kind of odd. I'm like, why are they prolonging this? LA Knight wins the match. He beats Rick Boogs, and I'm like, okay, yeah, give the dub to LA Knight. I don't really care. And then LA Knight goes on ringside and starts beefing with the Street Profits. I'm like, bro, what? Why would he continue a storyline with the Street Profits when he doesn't even have a tag team partner? He already got rid of his tag team partner, which was Rick Boogs, and he goes to confront the Street Profits. Like, gee, what are you doing? What are you doing, LA Knight? Not, yeah. Cameron Grimes went up against Ashante Diadonis of Hit Row, and Cameron Grimes was able to pick up the victory with his really cool, what is it called? Like a pit driver? I forgot the name of his move, but it was a really cool, like, double stomp to the chest to win. He did the same thing on Corbin last week. And then speaking of Corbin, after the match, Corbin sort of just did a little sneak attack from behind and attacked Cameron Grimes. So I guess that's going to be a little storyline here on SmackDown. As far as Cameron Grimes, though, goes to the moon, man. He's looking good. AJ Styles had his last match before his match against Seth Rollins at Night of Champions for the World Heavyweight Championship. He fought Karrion Kross, and this was a pretty decent match, I can't lie. Scarlett was on ringside. Yeah, Scarlett started posing as a factor, started to do a little cheating, and then here comes, I almost said Reckoning. Michin ran down and scared a freaking Scarlett away, and then AJ Styles in the end was able to hit a phenomenal forearm to Karrion Kross to pick up the victory. That's actually a pretty dope angle. I love that. AJ Styles hits a phenomenal forearm. It looked amazing to Karrion Kross, and he picked up the victory. Looking good going into Night of Champions. Who wins that, man? Check out the prediction video if you guys haven't already before the show today. And I don't know. I still think it's Seth, but I don't know. It could be AJ. I really don't know. And moving to our main event, if you will, it was an episode of the Kevin Owens Show. Special guest Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns and Sami started talking about the bloodline, and then here come the Usos. I'm like, wait, the Usos weren't the guests, and tensions were running high between the Usos and Roman Reigns, obviously. So the Usos come out, and then Sami and Kevin start trying to talk some sense into the Usos. Like, yeah, Roman's using you. This is bullcrap. What are you guys doing? Why are you still with Roman? And then Jimmy just goes out on a limb and says, screw it, I'm the tribal chief. And then Roman comes out all pissed off, and he's like, what did you say? What did you say? Smacking the microphone out of everybody's hands. And then Kevin Owens is like, screw this. He stunners Roman Reigns. I'm like, what? It was out of nowhere. He just hit a massive stunner on Roman. It all broke down. Solo was taking care of business. My boy Solo Sikoa was decking everybody. He didn't deck the Usos, though. And then Roman got back up, and he forced the Usos to hand over the titles. Jimmy didn't, but Jay had to hand over Jimmy's titles, and then Roman held up both sets of tag team titles. I'm like, dude, even Solo handed him his titles. I'm like, bro, what the heck? It's like, oh my God, man. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Roman better not win those tag team belts, dude. For real, bro. But yes, guys, that was SmackDown in a setup style. Not a half bad show. I hope Night of Champions is better. This SmackDown was a little weak in my personal opinion. You guys can let me know yours down in the comments below. In the end, I'm going to give SmackDown a solid... I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. That was pretty weak. You guys let me know once again what you guys thought about the shows down in the comments below. Stay tuned for next week's Week in Review on Saturday morning, just like this one. And I'll see you guys next time. Bretto Live is out.